Please subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow so that more people can be exposed to the content. Please also hit the thumbs up or down button to let me know which direction to go for future content. Thanks. Chris Brown is one of the most famous and recognizable artists in the music industry all over the world. And although he is a black man, he has been separated from the black community systematically and methodically by the dominant race. This is nothing new, and it happens all the time, and in all walks of life, from the famous black people to the high achievers. White society takes the best of the black community to be used for profit, then discarded at will. In the high position that the people put Chris Brown on, he could have been a very influential figure in the black community. And the powerful systems at the top work very hard to make sure that doesn't happen to him or to any other famous black person. Today, Chris Brown is viewed by the black community as a colorist because he chooses to date only non-black women or ambiguous women with lighter skin tones. So now, even if he wanted to lead the black community in a positive direction, he would be viewed as untrustworthy, particularly by black women. This is the divide and conquer strategy that the dominant race uses on black people all the time because it works. This is not about changing anybody's feelings about Chris Brown's dating choices. In fact, I would ask that you not have an emotional response, because this is simply an explanation of how this happens to wealthy black men in the music industry and in sports, which is where the potential black male leaders may form and where the money resides. I chose to highlight Chris Brown because he is the most famous. So in order for you to understand how Chris Brown became a colorist, you must understand why. His choice of girlfriends didn't change until he became more famous and enmeshed into white society. And you can see it in the choice of leading ladies in his music videos. In his earlier videos, the girls were not only black, there was nothing ambiguous about them. And they were beautiful dark-skinned black girls, which was probably his natural preference. When Chris Brown was first recognized as a huge talent, he was 15 years old, and he was concentrating on becoming a huge R&B singer and dancer, and I'm sure he wasn't aware of the manipulation of white society that was in his future. He started with Jive Records, which was a black-owned label, but it was sold to RCA Records, who Chris Brown is now signed to and has been since 2004. As he became more famous, he was probably told that in order for him to become mainstream, he should use ambiguous-looking women or white women in his videos in order to make white America feel comfortable.
I'm recognized in a different light now. I'm recognized as the singer Chris Brown, as the artist Chris Brown, and I'm not just recognized as a regular dude. So the recognition is lovely. The girls are lovely.
Since then, this is what his leading ladies and the majority of his female dancers look like. And if by chance she was a black woman, she was very light-skinned or ambiguous-looking. And this way of thinking spilled over into his personal life. And I would go so far as to say that the reason he's known for kicking dark-skinned black women out of his section of the club is that in his mind he has to distance himself from any possible way it would be confused that he's with a black woman, because of course in his mind that would damage his career based on what his white bosses have told him. So backlash from the black community is no big deal. I don't believe Chris Brown is a colorist. I believe he put trust in the white people around him. not realizing that it is their job to steer him down the path based on how he can be used to benefit them. And although Chris Brown has 2 children by 2 non-black women, he didn't marry them. And he has yet to be in a relationship with any of the women who are supposed to be his preference. In an interview a few years ago, Chris Brown was asked what does he look for in a woman. His answer actually describes the girls that he grew up with, not the ones that he currently dates.
What do you look for in a woman, Chris Brown?
I'm trying to think.
Is there certain
'Cause
categories?
it's different, bro. Like when I was younger, like I used to go for back in the day, like man, I like you, that little attitude, blah blah blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
But what these black men don't understand is that while they're putting their energy into mating and dating, white men are making decisions on what's best for the white community for generations to come. If the dominant systems can convince wealthy black men at the top to date and marry white women, then the masses of black men at the bottom will follow. Unfortunately, black men allow themselves to be led and oppressed by the dominant systems, but they're not able to see that it is to their detriment and the detriment of black people as a whole. And if all they have to do to get wealthy black millionaires to collectively pour billions of dollars into an already abundantly wealthy white community, simply by putting a white woman in his face, then why wouldn't they?